Magpasalamat ka mo, this year, no marching as long as I'm mayor. You have suffered long enough, no? But there are some important, to me, little details that the presentation done by the Cebu City Cultural Dance Troupe, I think is the best I've seen of all the celebrations we've had on. So ako tagal silang nasipang pakpak, ako nakita, they really practice hard, nindot ang ilang choreography. And if you have not noticed, we're celebrating our Independence Day. This year, we have a new flag. See? Tanawara, ha? Kaya ito, ang atong karaan nga kwan, bandera, murag gikan nga sa ukay-ukay, makaraan nga, patay. Nawag yung ta, no? At least magpasalamat ta sa Suarez brothers, no? That have, that has acknowledged Pilimon Suarez for donating a nice, beautiful flag, very befitting. Now, what are we celebrating? Independence? Did we really get our independence in June 12? No, it was just a declaration by Emilio Aguinaldo from his house in Kawit, Cavite. But to me, a turning point in our country getting together was when, under the U.S. government, they decided to have the first national elective body by forming the first Philippine Assembly. For the first time yun, assemblymen were elected all over the Philippines in a democratic fashion through elections, and they selected. So there was the Americans, U.S. government said, no Senate first, no Vice President, no President, but let's allow them to have their first national governing body. And so a little over 100 years ago, we had the first Philippine Assembly, which is now the Philippine Congress. Of course, I take very special pride because the youngest member of the first Philippine Congress was my lolo, no? Don Osmeña. He was the youngest member at 29 years old. And I'm equally proud, and I think we should all be proud as Cebuanos, that the first Speaker of the House was the youngest member of the House, Don Osmeña. He was the first Speaker of the House, he was the second Speaker of the House, he was the third Speaker of the House, and he was also the fourth Speaker of the House. And it was through those formative years that for once the country functioned as a nation, trying to prove to the Americans that we can truly act on our own. During that time, when we were under Americans, kaya akong orientation I'm a local government official, akong i-compare. During that time, the local governments had a tremendous amount of local autonomy. After we got our independence, after World War II and the U.S. gave us our independence, sad to say, the local governments ended up being colonies of the national government. Nabali. We want to be independent, but here in Cebu, we became colonies. For example, what was the local government code like under the Americans? What would the local governments do? The local government was in charge of the schools. Now, we don't run the schools. Local government was in charge of the police, of the fire. Even appointing the judges, now that's all gone. The local government would run the ports, now that's all gone. This was all gone when we became an independent nation, believe it or not. So now we know that we have our challenges, not as an independent country, but also as part of the Philippine government that we are striving for more local autonomy. Ako mga kaigsunan, we will continue to have these challenges. People try to bring us down. Karon, ang Manila, ilang kawaton ang atong BRT, nagkagwantag yun ta, we applied for it for 10 years, na-vote yun ang approval, approved ng World Bank, and then now Congress says, no, give it to Manila. This is the kind of role that we have to play here. We still have to fight for our independence as a people, as a Cebuano. But let me divert and go back to kindness again. I would like to take this opportunity, akong pa-introduce pa ila-ila kanilang tanan. our SK, newly elected SK. Jessica Rich, can you please come up here and bring your officers up here, because this will be your formal debut to the people of Cebu. Come up here. Now, I will show you something. Are there any barangay captains present here? Please raise your hand. There are 80 barangay captains. Are there even one? See, akong pakita ka ninyo, ang atong mga SK, mas pugihan sila. They're more devoted than even our own barangay captains who will not show up. So let's give them a big round of applause. Tan-awara, kung may botante din who SK against barangay captains, lubog sila. Atong tagaan silang masipang bakpak because they're demonstrating their commitment. O nang akong isulti sa akong tiba sa akong administrasyon. Tomorrow will be better than today. Thank you very much. Now we will be discussing. Okay, you can go down now. Thank you. So, see what the difference is from this and the previous. And if you will notice, let's invite all of the opposition city councilors to come up here. Nabay usa? Wala. At least, BOPK, can you please come up here? All the city councilors, just come up here and acknowledge. Tan-awara, We're not celebrating BOPK, we're celebrating the Independence Day of the city. So at least, dilitanan, pero kumpara sa Pikas na zero, bisa ng Vice Mayor, nag-shopping siya sa China, yung Mayor is still here, and we have our BOPK city councilors, that are here. So, you deserve the credit. At ang tagal silang masipang pakpak, Okay, thank you very much. Okay, you may go down now. So these are the differences between the previous year, It's very important. It's very important for us to cite Independence Day for only one reason, because so many people died for it. So many. And these people are long forgotten. So we can only think of who to remember. All of these faceless people who have given up their lives so that we will remain as a country that we can be proud of. Gikan sa panahon sa mga katipuneros all the way through the World War II, and even today in our fight against extremism by the IS, people have sacrificed their lives. So this is one moment I would like to ask all of you to please stand up and give us 1 minute of prayer in memory of all of those who have sacrificed their lives to make our country what it is today. Thank you very much. Thank you. You may remain seated. You can remain seated. This is what it's all about. Independence Day is not just a flag. Sa tinuod. Flag is just a cloth. But the people who died for it, that's where it's at. People have sacrificed their blood, People have forgotten people like the governor of Cebu, King Abellana, who was beheaded by the Japanese because he refused to cooperate with the Japanese government. So many of them, countless people. And I really feel for these people. And you should always realize that all that you're doing, you are here simply because other people sacrificed for you. So let's celebrate this day quietly, but with respect and honor for our country. Thank you very much and good morning.